Doctor Who fans, I am Doctor Who commentator here to provide you my personal fan commentary on Doctor Who. And let's get on with, so loved this episode this week, The Legend of Ruby Sunday. So we now have a cool effect from the TARDIS. Once again, a Avengers unit tower. Everyone's ready. As cool as an effect that was, the TARDIS coming in, the TARDIS can materialize. Why not? I get it, it was just for fun, but when you know it can appear and disappear, why do you have to need to open it and let it do that bit? But there's Rose. Love seeing Yasmin Finney. Plus, I never quite realised I didn't realise until this episode quite how tall Yasmin Finney is. We compare her with Ruby. We love Kate. And the Brigadier gets a mention. The Fleeks. And there's the guy who a lot of women liked, I think. That was Lenny. One bit about the Flinks. Rusty Davis did actually say this, but every time we're going to see the Flinks is going to be a bit more updated, and they've done this with the new chest. So that's going to be an interesting thing to keep looking at. You know what? Oh, there, Susan Twist. There shit. So he has kept a record. And some new ones which we never saw. But they all know. Although Ruby should know. And now I'm looking at his left hand, I just realised he is still wearing the ring that he got from Rogue. He is funny for a kid. Wasn't there another Doctor Who technological villain that did that? I swear I've heard this plot before. TARDIS technology. And I love that whole obviously bit. It really was a case of Russell. I'm pretty sure Russell kind of put obvious bits in there. And Susan Tran. Russell clearly knew what people were going to be thinking. I mean, and that whole, well, yeah, we all knew it was an anagram of TARDIS. Even that, they were like, yeah, everyone's going to spot that, so let's just say it. And the mention of Susan being my granddaughter. Oh, he's literally said it. Finally, it's all being brought up. Legend of Ruby. I mean, he even said in Unleashed that really Susan hasn't got much of a mention in years. She was in the 50th anniversary, but the 20th anniversary, but that was it. She barely gets a look in nowadays. No. She's just a nice person. But this This I'm in contradiction with, however. Yes, he's bringing up regeneration with Ruby, but I thought the idea was that Time Lords could still tell each other apart. Even with regeneration. They usually can. Partly because they're all telepathic, but still. Yeah. Oh, Lenny. Susan. Glad she pointed that out. Yeah, just rehearsal. You sure you're not fooling anyone? Nay, body length. It is good to see her back in the show with a more common role, a recurring role. Which she is slowly becoming the next Elizabeth Sladen. And it is good because obviously Bonnie didn't really have much of a time in the TARDIS. But just looking at my collection right now, so she was obviously in Trial of a Time Lord, Time in the Rani, Paradise Tower, Delta and the Bannermen, and then Dragonfire. And that was pretty much it. Practically a series. Less than a series. And she left quite abruptly as well. There was no indication that she was leaving. Which is weird. Oh, and I'm talking right over the whole thing of circumstances of Ruby's birth. Yes. You already did it, and obviously highlighted that it couldn't be Susan Triad, because far too old to have abandoned her daughter. That's true. But not this time. Actual snow. Glad someone pointed it out. Yeah. Yeah, they can update it now. Sure they can. Yes. Oh, VHS. Kids today don't know what that is. It's okay, kids. It's an out-of-date format. You don't need to really know about it that much. But it's the closest thing we had back then. And I remember she shook her Susan's hand with that, but I cannot remember what exactly it was for. Oh. Oh god, I always hate those kind of stories. Because it's hardly ever true. Oh, how did she not hear or feel that? That's convenient. Yeah, box of old junk. And a VHS. And I love the fact that there's literally no brand name on that VHS. I know BBC, but still, surely those companies don't even exist anymore. And of course, bring the mother. I would love for Catherine Tate to also be in this, but I don't think that's going to happen. And naturally, Radio 1. We kind of got the impression from Unleashed back in the Christmas special that she was going to have a really major role. Her character was going to be significant. And I'm sure she's still significant, but I haven't seen it. Nowadays, I'm more banking on the idea that she is, in fact, Ruby's mum. Because there's obviously something significant about Ruby. I mean, she makes it snow, for goodness sake. Thank you. Oh. Yeah. Suddenly she got more sinister. So is she one of the elder gods or something? And now I got it. Breaking the fourth wall, just like she did before. I mean, that's something that I'm actually thinking a lot about now. She obviously has to be one of the gods, but more importantly, Maestro obviously did the same thing a lot. This does seem to be the thing with the elder gods, that they do seem to be very aware that they're in a TV program. I'm assuming that's going to be Russell's whole calling card with this. But if they break the fourth wall, then they're a god. Now, that's really significant. So, after all these years, we've always thought, well, he must have kids, but even in Davis's old previous hero, Tennant said, I was a father once. But now it seems he's just saying that because, well, he knows he has to have been, but now it turns out he's not met his own kids yet because of not being linear. It's a bit complicated, but still. Would I love for Caroline Ford to appear next week? Yes. Will she? I don't know. Oh. God, it's so hard, isn't it? No. I have to wonder what they talked about. Genuinely, I mean, being a classic companion, being how long she's been part of this franchise, there must have been a lot to talk about. So that's interesting. Human confirmed, but we've established she's not human. She's one of the servants of sutekh. Yeah, spoilers. Well, of course I did. Wow. Especially the Prime Minister. Yeah. Okay. Frankly, that was a bit stupid. I know they need to move the plot further, but still. Of course it did. And he does look like a hodgepodge, to be honest, of any random things they could think to put in there. Charming. Oh, well, it's the doctor. Hello. Yes, it is. Okay, so whole power of Europe projects an image. Mind you, goes the year 2050 has the spin-off K9 established, and there's time travel technology there. I probably got the date wrong, but yeah, I know. No one likes to talk about the Australian K9 spin-off, but still. Apparently that segue was made specially for him, for this specific episode, because Lenny does have a segue, given his nature, his disability. Why? It's a really weird thing to watch at Christmas Eve, to be honest. You can hardly see anything. Oh, by the way, why am I using such a really old telly? Yeah, I know. Modern television today cannot use VHS, but the telly I'm watching this on, if I wanted to, I could attach a VHS player to it. And it is reasonably flat screen. And even if you didn't use if you were using a more modern television, you can get adapters. Tell me. That's when she was born, yes. And I was kind of intrigued that this was predominantly done with projectors on a screen, not much CGI involved, but I say that. Snowing. Yeah. That's funny. Haven't turned it on yet. But again, a big connection of Ruby Sunday. I mean, Ruby is clearly something. Oh, by the way, something else that literally just got into my head. Of all this time, of all these years of Clara looking after Ruby, seriously, it never snowed. It never snowed at any other point in her life? Wherever Ruby was? I mean, she used to make it snow indoors. She never made it snow indoors before? So anyway, I'll take him back to that point. But there must have been some CGI. Surely. But apparently most of it was just projected on some sheets. Which is impressive. Well, I'm going to be cruel and say I am liking Lenny. I haven't seen... The only other thing I've actually seen him in was Taskmaster. But as much as I'm liking Lenny, I don't think he's that great an actor. But he'll grow into one. He was only 13 at this time. Ooh. So should you be standing there? Alright, probably can't touch it, but still. It only allows him to view what happens. Very deliberate. No, probably not. Look. Oh! He keeps having to hold her. I've just noticed the doctor keeps having to hold her back. Nope. What is so different about it? Oh. Oh boy. And that's where he arrived. Should have pointed that out. And why is there a lot more colour in him? It kind of looks like black and white CCTV, as most CCTV was in 2004, weirdly. Oh, memory of a TARDIS. Memory TARDIS. We'll probably know more about that on Thursday. Oh, she's crying. So why'd you leave her? Yeah. Although travelling with a straight man isn't usually a clever idea. This keeps changing. Oof. What's she pointing at? It's not the doctor. But okay, no one bothers to fake the TARDIS. So northwest. Point. Sorry, I was just thinking about the whole northwest thing. How's he sure? I mean, where's north? Yeah, it's nothing. Why is it such a big thing that he has to stay in the exact... Oh, right. Sorry, yeah, couldn't interfere with the image. No, don't get out of sight. Nothing good happens to the guy who goes out of sight. They didn't pause it? Oh. Yeah, she doesn't want to be seen. Sorry, Ruby. Turn away. Nope. Sorry, Ruby. Doctor. That's not it. Whoa. It's one of those things where I was pretty sure it was Sutekh. It's the ultimate evil. Phew. Very good. Yes. More like behind him, but still. Say something. No, it's pretty much now. He doesn't know. Well, why did you leave your station anyway? And that was the thing that really got me, the Beast. I mean, my immediate thought was Gabriel Wolf. Gabriel Wolf was the voice of, obviously the voice of Sutekh, but it was also the voice of the Beast in the Impossible Planet. I think that's what it was. Or the Impossible Asteroid, one or the other. But the point is, the fact that the Beast was mentioned made me go, oh, it is Sutekh, isn't it? Of course it is. The doctor did place Sutekh in a time corridor with the intention of having him aged to death. Get back. And there he is, turned to dust. Exactly what Sutekh said he could do. And his gun. Well, more than down, I'd say. I'm being way too... Sorry, I'm being way too silent, Susan Triad. That building looked so CGI, and the only reason I'm saying it is because sometimes they might make completely CGI buildings. Sometimes they'll just paste over actual buildings, like the Shard or whatever. So I'm curious, was that based on... Was that actually real? Oh, jeez. It's quite an interesting move to allow him to express a lot of anger in that way, actually. Because it can be quite healthy to express anger, so long as you're not expressing your anger, putting your anger on someone else. It is actually kind of, and so long as you're not breaking anything, it is okay. And male anger does tend to be portrayed these days as inherently toxic, whereas anger is actually a perfect response to trauma. I know I'm getting very technically, but I just thought if anyone was listening, it's important to know your anger can be healthy. Anger is perfectly normal. It is a normal emotion, and men should be allowed to express that anger when it's acceptable, when it's justified. So that's interesting, the video's changed. Well, God could change that. Oh. Reverse the tape. Doesn't make sense, but okay. Doctor. Oh. Doctor Who. They have to do that joke every time. Alright, they don't do it every time, but it's very rarely used, but it's still quite annoying. It's not a... Yes. Oh, he's called that. Like the Ood with their bad dreams. Oh. No. Caught her now. But she did seem genuinely terrified. She was interesting. don't see how that makes a difference. But they had to do something. Ooh. It's the TARDIS. Oh yeah, he didn't think for a minute about the fact that the image of the TARDIS was there. But when he saw the entity explode like that, it was around his TARDIS. I mean, the image of his TARDIS, but still. And I need to rewatch The Devil's Cord, because apparently it made that noise then. Can I also say, I mean, many people guessed it was sutekh. And if you remember in The Devil's Cord, they did actually put that nod to Pyramids of Mars. Got to get Susan trying. And this has frankly become a bit of a dated reference now. I mean, I'm sure when they filmed it, even when they filmed it, which must have been around 2022 or something, but doing that, referencing Theresa May, it's a bit weird. Yep, Ruby's important. She'll be safe. Hopefully. Or about as safe as everyone else will. Deep scan. I remember Ellie Littlechild was saying something about how the scanners looked like the same thing from the ambulance, but I think that's just a coincidence. I think they were just using the same effect. There's no one there. Ooh. It's a living thing. Just hearing that voice. Well, it's sutekh. It's definitely sutekh. Yep, don't question, Doctor, just go. Lots of hugging in this. Well, you're going off script. Although why Susan doesn't seem to be fully aware of herself in this context, I don't know. Yes. Ooh. It was either going to be sutekh or Azael. Why am I saying Azael? When this episode was originally being talked about with Davis, he said that there was a secret that had been hidden in units since John Pertwee's era. And I thought, well, what godlike entity? And the only one was Azael. Then it turns out, oh, it's that time window. There he is, Harbinger. That's what they do. Blue skin. I don't know why I said blue skin and red eyes. I am night, I am terror, I am returning. Yeah, that is a good question though. Why is that happening? Will it keep us safe? It's not gonna help. Oh, remembers the toy maker. Oh, sorry, no, it was the one who just died earlier, sorry. And the tricks has been mentioned. Marvel piece. Oh. Manifestation's happening. Oh. Mother and father another. There it is. Sue. Acknowledge. He means sutekh. Technically, that's not an anagram. There it is! And now they've actually made him even more frightening. I mean, yeah, it's a dodgy CGI character, but that's more... it's more intimidating than a guy sitting in a chair. The servant of sutekh. He did that once before. We saw the servant of sutekh before. How he could burn, turn people to dust. It's the gift of death. And it's Gabriel Wolf. Oh, I'm so looking forward to next week. I mean, points for making him a jackal. That is what Set was. Oh, that's horrible. Death. Dan too big a team, not even doing a next time trailer. That's just... oh, I thought you can't leave me on that. But they are going to leave us at that. So we're going to have to wait till next week. I've been Doctor Who commentator. I'm also a regular contributor to Dr. Freedom's Omega Files. Hope you enjoyed listening to this as I enjoyed making it, and I will definitely see you next week. Because will I do Tales from TARDIS? No, I'm not going to do Tales from TARDIS because we know what Tales from TARDIS is. It's just going to be an old episode. There's no point in that. But look forward to making the next one. And is there anything more to say? It's always hard to know what to do during the credits. So all's left is for me to get this on. And goodbye.